Hey yo, this is the Parental Advisory Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Elo Soul, along with Jay Serve, the Chico Wilmo Rivera, the brown guy, and I'm with James Mungin. I suck with names.
The man just said it like 3 minutes
That's
ago.
why I said you do it. That's why I just said you do it. I just did all your work.
As always, where can the people find you at first, though, Elo?
Here, at home.
Okay, but in the social media sphere.
LOSO463 for all my social media, and then LOSOYT for my YouTube, and LOSO40 for my Twitch, if you want a game.
Holla at your boy. Yeah, you're fucking ribbing on that shit, man.
I streamed for 8 hours last night.
Nice.
I got like 20 concurrent viewers.
Okay.
I don't really give a shit.
I
just like the chat. I just like to chat with them.
You got to build it, bro. Yeah. But anyways,
I ain't Shroud over here.
It's that Chico J Serve, and you can find me at jserve954 on all social media. JSERVE 954 on all social media, and all streaming platforms for my new album Dope that's out right now, and brolife.net. Wilmo's kind of in the background today because we had to share the mic. We had to give it to the guest today. So, what do you call it?
My bad.
So the brown guy Wilmo, where can the people find you at, bro?
You guys can find me on Snapchat, Instagram, just Wilmo_Chiquito. Holla at me, y'all, if you want to speak out to me.
And you guys already just heard him here in the background, and we already talked about him here. But sometimes we like to switch things up and have a special guest. To jump on the podcast with us, and today we have a very special guest. A community advocate, as he like to call himself, James Mungin. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna call him Munch for short, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming in, James.
Shout out to Emmanuel George. He put me on James. Damn, for my ears. He put me on James, man, and I had added you. Maybe I don't even know how long. Maybe a couple months ago.
Friend of the show, Emmanuel
and I always
George.
Watch your videos because they're very informative. And then I saw one that you were talking about Amendment 4, and I was like, man, I want to talk about that so bad. I just never had the opportunity to bring it up when the election thing was going on. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Let me hit him up. Let's just do it now. Best time ever. Because I saw some news articles coming out about Amendment 4. DeSantis fucking it up again.
But before we get too deep into that, Munch, where can the people find you at online?
All social networks, at Machiavelli_Munch. So there's MAKAVELLI_MUNCH.
Perfect. Now, Munch, how long have you been doing, being involved within the community and everything that you've been doing?
Pretty much all my life.
Yeah.
I grew up at the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center. It's a performing arts center down there in Liberty City. So, being there, and it's a county facility, so a lot of the dignitaries would always come through. So when they used to have it, county meetings and different things like that, I would be there because I would be behind the scenes doing tech.
True.
Oh, okay.
So from there, I used to be infatuated with recording.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thing. So I would just record and then play back on my little CD player. I would have it MP3s because I started with Pro Tools,
oh wow,
Digi001 box,
damn,
yeah.
Oh,
damn.
So you were in the beginning.
No, you don't understand. He said Digi001. I remember that shit when it came out. That shit was revolutionary when it came out.
Yeah.
But the power in it is your cell phone is 4 times worth of technology.
I have no idea what that is. It sounds like
it's a.
Are you a DigiDestin?
It's a It's like what your Focusrite is.
Yeah. It's an interface, but back then Pro Tools wasn't open like it is now.
Right now, yeah.
So you had to buy the Pro Tools hardware and the Pro Tools interface.
What year are we talking?
We talking easy. What that year was? 2002, 3, something like that.
Okay. I was gonna say 1.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. I mean, I probably was doing it 01. I ain't want to date myself that far back, but yeah, I probably was doing about 01 because I went into high school, 03? Yeah, I had to be doing it 01.
01.
True.
Yeah.
I didn't get into it until, the recording, I didn't get into it until maybe 2 years ago. But the first thing I got My buddy got FL Studio just to fuck around with beats. That's how I started out.
Everybody always starts out with FL Studio.
Yeah,
They're like, you want to make beats? Download it for free.
I had an uncle out in Houston. Who was a musician, and he gave me my first keyboard. So I would basically record all my beats inside the like keyboard. It was a Yamaha.
Oh, you do beats?
Yeah,
Okay.
like like just kidding around, you know.
Okay.
And then I then from there, at the same time he gave me Cakewalk. Sony, I think it was like Sony Cakewalk at the time.
Okay.
So I ain't really like that. But then when I went to the center, went back to the center, they all of a sudden had this Digi 001, and I'm like, when the hell did we get this? But since we got it,
has the field been saturated with beat makers? Because it seems like everybody can make beats now. It's more accessible, more than ever.
Yeah, it's more accessible for everybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
beats
it
on your phone
separates.
now.
I think it's good for I think it's good for the culture though. At the same time, because like it separated people who really want to do it and the people who just like they just in it for fun.
Right.
You know, like.
Gives them an avenue.
Yeah, like when I was, lately I just been thinking like, damn, when I was doing it, I needed the bread. You know what I mean? And I was in a different phase, but I did like to do this because it was something I like to do.
Right.
Like I was just intrigued by recording. So,
right.
More of what I phased out and started to do instead of being more a part of the production process, I was like, I can be a part of the like mixing, mastering process.
Right.
True.
And that's where I was. That's why I felt like I was home because. Pre-production, production, that wasn't my thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm my man be 24, 30 places and then the focus on the record. And I gotta be, like, I gotta know, like, I'm a part of this? Okay.
Right.
I got, you know what I'm saying? So, everybody's different,
Right.
and I just happen to know, like, that certain things just wasn't for me.
So, so you get into this, you find this passion of yours with recording and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that you started applying that at these meetings.
Yeah, so like I would record the meetings, a lot of community meetings, like public. These are public hearings and stuff like that, like where they gotta make public information public or whatever. So I would record them and then play them back and hear them and then look up certain things I ain't know. You know what I mean? Oh. And then from there, and then like my family. Like I got uncles and aunts and whatnot that's like all a part of like Miami, like South Dade, like history and stuff like that.
True.
So like like my uncle was a political strategist to Jimmy Carter, and
okay.
Like President Jimmy Carter.
Okay, you gotta do how Munch did it, man.
Yeah, like
you got like ties.
Yeah, like
you have to get off Fortnite and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I mean, even like my best friend's a gamer. That's the funny part.
Yeah,
my best like one of my best friends.
I'm a super gamer.
Yeah, childhood friend. Like he's a gamer. Like I guess we fuck with him so much that he kind of had to get out of it. But like he's a gamer. You know what I'm saying? And he gets it.
You're a gamer when you force games on someone. I've bought in games for him, forcing it on him. It just sits there.
Yeah.
Don't buy no games for me.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that I'm not never home. It's just the fact that I got beat so bad that I'm just like, nope, I'm not playing no more.
That there's people who, when they get beat bad in games, they're just like, whatever. And then there's some who are like, they like it so much they want to become the best at it. Certain games, I don't give a shit about. Like, if you beat me in Injustice, I can care less. But if we're playing like Street Fighter, no. There's no way you can beat me in Street Fighter. Like, there's differences.
Like, okay, so this is embarrassing, but oh well. So this is my best friend in the whole world. This man beat me, like childhood friend, known like stays down the street from me to this day. Beat me like 100-0 in NFL Blitz, dog.
Oh,
it was like, how do you lose 100-0 in NFL Blitz?
You got shut out.
Yeah. So it was like, how
was he a master at the game?
No, it's not like
he was just alright.
I think I was just that trash. You know what I mean? And my thing is, my whole quick thing is to be like, take it outside.
Yeah, take it
outside. Though.
Yeah, I bet you won't fight me though. Yeah, I bet you won't fight me though.
Yeah. Oh, man. It would always be like because we used to play football on the block like all the time. You know what I mean? So it was like, what's up? Like
that's what they would say in my high school. Like you can't tackle me in real life though.
Yeah,
you can't dunk me in real life. Exactly. But this is a game.
This technically didn't happen.
There was a tournament. It was my first Halo tournament. I went there and I was feeling super confident because I've never been in a tournament. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm in a beast. So there's the way tournaments go. You have your team, and there's winners and losers. So even if you lose, you can still progress because you'll be in what's called the losers bracket. So you have to advance through the losers bracket, and the winner from the winners bracket and the losers brackets gets in. The whole beginning of the tournament is just where you place. Yeah. So we lost the first game, so we went into the losers bracket. And then we lost the losers bracket. We didn't get above 10 kills. Let me tell you how bad that is. Collectively. Let me tell you how bad that is. You have to get 100 kills in Halo. In a Halo designated LAN tournament, you need to get 100 kills per round. There's 2 rounds. So that means...
How many per group?
Per
team?
4.
4 people couldn't get 10 kills.
So you couldn't... It's 100 per round. So that means in 6 rounds, we didn't go above 10 kills.
Each.
How does that happen?
We just got fucking spanked. That's what happens. You think you're good in your neighborhood until you reach other people who are also good in their neighborhoods, and then that's where shit really goes down.
That's fucking crazy.
When everybody's a master, then
I knew that there were others, and take it outside.
I was aware of others.
That's the beautiful thing about gaming. That's the beautiful thing about gaming. There's always going to be somebody better than you. So I guess that leaves it. It's like basketball. There's always going to probably be. I mean, unless you're like LeBron or something.
That was my thing. Take it outside. Like, I'm gonna lose. I know this, but let's take it outside.
Take it outside.
Hello, get off of LeBron's dick.
Shut up. All right, shut up. It's the greatest basketball player ever lived.
Oh, now he's the greatest basketball player that ever lived.
Get off his dick.
Before Kobe and Jordan.
All this other stuff. I love the flip flopping, bro. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Whatever.
Surprised you're wearing slides.
It's a part of the league now.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. You know what I mean? But so, when did you obviously, so you're recording these meetings, you're listening back, you're doing your own research on your own time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And now, as you're doing this, what was your motivation to start looking these things up? Because most people, I knew if I was a tech guy, like if I was recording it, if my job was just to record it, I'd record it and make sure that the levels were good, and then I'm out. The last thing I'm doing is listening to the 2-3 hour meeting of the civil, you know what I'm saying, the local civil, conference or whatever it is.
I don't know. I don't really pretty much know like what sparked it. It was like, oh, I'm on this.
Yeah.
But like, it was just like I said, my whole family, like my mom, like, and dad was a part of the what's it called, Crime Watch. So like when the whole thing with Zimmerman happened, I just I want to
Trayvon Martin case.
I was like,
that was a big starting point for a lot of people.
Yeah, like a lot of people was like Crime Watch. I'm like, when I had Crime Watch in my neighborhood when we was kids,
that shit never went down. I had Crime Watch in my neighborhood too.
So like it's like you can protect.
Was he really Crime Watch?
Huh?
I heard later he wasn't, or was he? He was a part of Neighborhood Watch.
He was part of Neighborhood Watch, yeah.
And he designated this special position for himself.
How George Zimmerman is still walking today through life, still fucking with people, I would never know. There's actually been people who have gone to jail before him who tried to kill him. That's the craziest shit in the world. He's not like Casey Anthony, who like they just go into hiding forever. He walks around like northern part of Florida like it's any other day.
And
fucking with people.
And the unfortunate incident.
Yeah, because he can.
And the unfortunate incident is that, especially in a murder case like that, the entire burden of proof is on the prosecution, because all the defense has to do is just put a little bit of doubt. That's all they need to do. Just make it slightly impossible to say that the story that the prosecution is telling is wrong, for them to be like, we did our job. If they can put that in there and just make people think twice about the prosecution's case, they won. And unfortunately, the state had a really weak case.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
by Floridian state laws.
Yeah, by Floridian.
Because if it was anywhere else, he would be in jail right now.
Most definitely. But like I was saying, not that to be like that was probably the moment when I actively got up and was like,
that was the spark.
That was the spark.
That's when you went.
Yeah.
And you was like, I got to do this.
Exactly, because I watched the whole trial.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just like,
right.
Nah, we can't be sitting here just talking about it.
If for anything,
you know
that was the time when I just couldn't watch media anymore.
Exactly.
Because the way, like, CNN, MSNBC, the way they were depicting how the trial was going as if it was fair. And I was just like, fair? Are you out of your fucking mind? Like when his girlfriend went on saying how they just made her look dumb.
Shredded that poor girl.
Yeah. And it's not her fault.
Just shredded her on the...
our own community shredded the girl, too.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like...
But I for me, it's one thing for our own community to do it, which it's not right. But when it's an outside community, it's like, how dare you?
But
you don't even have the right.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, talking with other people that are also involved in their own local communities and everything like that. A lot of them, what do you call it? Have the same story, that it was that particular case, the Trayvon Martin case. That was the spark. That was like, as far as the young people went, they were like, I need to do this.
Well, there's a documentary that they had about the whole thing, and there was even people across the world who were just like, from that situation, it helped them get into politics in their own country.
So, I got some interesting stuff to say about that. So, the day Trayvon Martin got killed, like February 26th or something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Sounds about right.
He gets killed. He goes... That same day, February 26, 1776, that was when they did the Act of Berlin, split up the Congo, all these different places.
Oh, shit.
Right?
I never put those two together.
The dude who, all right, I forgot what the dude name was that was over Belgium at the time.
Okay.
But basically, that in that Act of Berlin, basically, America... It was a dude named Sanford, and he gave that land over there to Florida. That was the Berlin dude from Berlin gave that land to Sanford in Florida for giving them the land in Africa.
Okay.
Oh.
So it was some deep, like a dude from the Congo broke it down to me, and it was crazy. But then it's another thing about just like 2012, you know.
Oh, true.
Thing, and then, but like for me, I know Jit used to play down the street from my business partner. So
Trayvon?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
really?
It was like, damn, like this wasn't no Jit that was in the streets. Like this wasn't no Jit that was really a problem. Like he was just a Dade County Jit with goals in his mouth.
Oh, so you knew Trayvon personally?
I ain't know him.
Oh, but you knew about him.
I knew, like, like once my homeboy was like, yo, Trayvon the one, that used to be the Jit playing that all them used to play 2 doors down, playing basketball, football in the street all the time. Like,
okay, I see. I thought he was originally from Orlando. He's originally from Miami.
Yeah, he from down here, and his old boy moved up there. His dad was up there, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The fact that his dad was up there, like, and then he got suspended. So when he got suspended, his old girl sent him up the road. Like, hey, go up there for a little minute while he was on suspension and chill out.
Right.
And so you could talk to him because he was spiraling a little bit. But
he's a teenager. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody goes through that at that age.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different for African Americans in this country, the way they progress through life compared to anybody else. Well, at this point, it's anybody who's not white.
It's just historically, it
used to be a point in time in the 90s and in the 2000s where, in the beginning of the 2000s, where it was just the African American person. But now you have the Spanish people.
Well, after 9/11,
after 9/11, it became
all brown.
Anybody brown.
It became
I think it's always been there. I think we're just more cognizant of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, because like
I'm a big believer of that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like before before Obama, we didn't have black people in positive images on TV.
That's true.
Prior to the different world and all that. Like,
there
was a gap
Family Matters.
and Family Matters at the 80s, early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, at that point, the only person was like Bill Cosby before.
Yeah,
all
Bill
the scandal.
Cosby shit went down.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like that's all we had. So. It's crazy, the system and how it works.
So now you're sitting at home, you're watching this case go down, and obviously, we know what the verdict was, he's not guilty. And as you said, that kind of sparked something within you that like I got to do something, And so, what was your, what I'm saying? What was the first things like? Do you remember that you started projects that you started working on?
I know one of the first things we did to take my mind off wanting to really go put in some work. The one thing we started to do like small protests and rallies and getting with organizers, and we didn't understand, like, I was with my music group at the time, the art club. We didn't really understand like the social justice shit.
Right.
We ain't come from that. Like,
right.
We don't understand the politics and how to move, how to protest, how to do this. Like, we just was like, nah. Like, my homeboy Zabo, one had 1/3 of the owners of Roots Black House.
Okay.
So he a teacher or whatnot, but he also was at FAM studying history, and he was connected with the guys up there at FAM, the Dream Defenders and others, and linked us up. So when we started to work, he just was like, look, we gonna protest in Aventura. So we went to Aventura City. We gonna call this a blackout. We dress up in all black, just like Trayvon, hoodies up, the whole nine. We standing, it's like 20, 30 of us, black men just standing, in Aventura, like hot ass sun, middle of July.
Right.
Yeah, July out in hoodies.
Humidity.
Like, black hoodies.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it was my birthday month, so I ain't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think at that time, if I'm not mistaken, I was about 23. I may have been about 23 at the time. So, like, it was just like, what's up? Like,
yeah, you ready to go.
Like,
you with it.
And that's just what we was on.
Right.
And then we later stood on did the same thing downtown at the Justice Building. You know what I'm saying? Like the courthouse, basically.
What was the reception you were getting there? Like, was it hostile?
Before that, we had already did like a lot of community events. So like that's just what our music group was all about. Like, we was like, we do music, but we give back to the community. It was big. It was like more. This a lifestyle for us. Like, we get money, but we've been doing this like because everything like we grew up on like real Miami hustlers and bosses. They always gave back.
Right.
So it was never like, oh, this was a part of this. This would come with it. This what you got to do.
Right.
So yeah, the reception we was getting was always love because we was the only cats really following that code, in that brand of doing business, like social entrepreneurship, before it was actually termed that. You know what
I mean, what year was that? 2000.
Trayvon Martin.
That was 2012.
2012. I want to say, like maybe in 2010, 2012, around that time, that's when we were first seeing the real explosion of social media.
Exactly.
Because we were like between 2000 to 2010, we were just understanding it.
Exactly.
Twitter. Then
MySpace.
When did Instagram come in?
It was MySpace.
MySpace was the very first one.
Very first, right?
Well,
and then
the first big one. If you really want to talk about the first social media platform that came out, it
was MySpace.
Friendster.
Friendster
was the first.
I remember
one.
Friendster.
And then you had like IM chat.
Yeah, AIM, the chat rooms and all that stuff. The Yahoo chats.
Facebook came out like a little bit after.
I mean, yeah, if you really want to break it down, it's like chat rooms are technically the first form of social
Facebook
media.
was like
just straight
one
college.
of them. You hit college, all right, hit Facebook.
Yeah,
right.
You know
Facebook's a weird one. How it's evolved. It's not for.
And everybody.
It's more for to put out your political
opinions. It's
now.
the newspaper of today,
right?
That people, you have access.
There's
to.
people. I don't want to say dumb people, but there's people who actually will go on Facebook, read just the title, and be like, "Yeah, that's true," with no type of research, looking into, or even reading the article that the title is saying. Be like, "Yeah, it has to be true. It's on Facebook." Mm-hmm. I don't know where Facebook has gone. It used to be where, that's just a site I have to talk to my mom or my family back wherever I'm from.
Yeah.
But it's evolved into something where it's like I have to be able to give my opinion.
It's a tool
where I can ridicule other people.
Like I can just air out my grievances. You know what I mean? Like, it's it used to be that people that whose opinions didn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, everybody's opinion matters now.
For whatever the reason may be. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but not everybody's opinion matters. You know what I'm saying?
It depends what site though. Like Twitter, you can't have an opinion. They don't even have a dislike button. Like I can't take you seriously if I can't even dislike something. I gotta like everything. Are you kidding me? And if I'm somewhat objective, I get banned. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here.
You know, but I mean, it's all kind of going that way anyway.
It's like Twitch. If we were to have this type of a discussion on my stream on Twitch, we would get banned immediately because this would be considered just us talking hate speech on Twitch.
I can believe it.
It's crazy.
But that's what, speaking of policies, net neutrality, all that stuff is going to be doing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Censoring, media. So that's, I think it's going to come down to like everybody's going to have channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like everybody's going to have their own channel. So
in the UK, they're trying to stop that. They have Article 13.
Look,
where they're
the reason why you ain't gonna be able to stop it is because you can't stop what people tune in at.
Well, what they're doing, the UK is, I guess,
it's
smarter.
gonna be a new technology that's gonna break through because of it every time.
True. What they're doing in the UK is they're trying to, instead of, let's say you're liable for the content you put out, it's now liable on the site that you put it on. So no longer are you placed with the burden. It's if I put something on YouTube, then I can sue YouTube.
That's because the tech platform is bigger than
right.
Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like you're now in the digital space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that digital space is vast. So we gotta. The only way to tax them is to tax enforce the people who hosting the shit.
Right. Yeah.
So if you know what I'm saying. So it's only right. Because you gotta have some type of accountability. Like. That's for instance, if somebody came, let's say All Like Minds was a social network, and I had everybody on All Like Minds, and we was saying some hateful shit. Mm-hmm. Like if they don't come tax me, I'm like, well, why y'all ain't said shit to me yet? I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah,
right.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If the own platform doesn't do anything,
and at the same, you know what I'm saying, and at the same time, and then me as having that platform, I'm not gonna do shit. Like. Because I let it sit there until somebody say something.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the biggest thing. Like that's the thing that happens with accountability. And people say, well, they came out and made a speech, and they said, no, they should have fucking cut that shit when they knew.
Right when it happened.
Me? And then told us ahead of time. Don't let somebody else come tell you. Like,
well, at the end of the day, it comes down to the dollars. If you're making, if your hate speech is garnering thousands and millions of views, that's thousands of millions of dollars that's going to the platform. Platform's not going to say anything.
Yeah, advertisers
until it
don't
gets
care.
called out.
Yeah, advertisers don't care.
That's probably what they're going through in the UK is now because YouTube allowed so much of it to go on. It's now where it's directed at them. So now big companies going to be like, oh, well, we don't have to sue the YouTuber. We can just sue YouTube now. That's perfect. So we can definitely get our money from YouTube. What are we going to get from a YouTuber? Nothing.
But that
right.
And that goes into, international and things becoming more global. Like
right.
Instantaneously, like you have a tech company, that shit is global.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can have other companies that shit's hella local. It ain't moving off that block. You know what I mean? But then you got shit is like
technology.
Like I said,
it's a whole nother level.
Is global. Like it's out there. So it's like, of course they're gonna get taxed. Like you got international laws. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's pretty hard to pass every international law every time.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. YouTube is not as big in other countries. Like China's banned it. Australia's banned it.
Well, yeah, they use their own platform.
Yeah, they have their own. Well, they have their own that they can censor what they want.
Exactly.
Over here, in America, we don't censor anything. We allow it to happen until it gets called out, and then we're like, all right, we'll censor it.
Like it's kind of crazy. But now, so you've been doing this now for a few years. You've been active, advocating for all the projects and everything like that. So what currently is it that you guys are working on, for the people out there that you'd like to know?
So gearing up for the new year. It's been a rough ride this last 2018, but so I do an event called Peace in the Hood. It's paying tribute to DJ Uncle Al.
Okay.
Miami.
Okay.
So you know anything about DJ Uncle Al? Miami bass music.
Yeah, he's like a pioneer.
Pioneer. You know what I'm saying? So one of the main things one of the things that I felt like was a main part of his legacy was Peace in the Hood. He always brought people together with his music. So that's something we're gonna do. We're gonna bring back. Basically, at our Peace in the Hood, we identify problems, discuss solutions. around different community issues. So it may be affordable housing, it may be education, it may be youth employment, different things. But now we putting a twist to it. So this year, the way the twist is like, yeah, we incorporating the music again. You know, we got to bring the medicine and the candy back, right?
I feel you.
So we gonna have the music portion, but the music portion is gonna come afterwards. It's gonna be like a nice little kickback social vibe.
Okay.
You know, but in the beginning, from like 6 to 9, we're gonna be doing like interactive workshops. You know, for both. In the first quarter, it's gonna be more personal, professional development.
Okay.
You know, of course, memberships for the organization, like All Like Minds. We for profit, but we do memberships, and it's beneficial. A couple of packages we coming out with, different things.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
it reminds me of there was this group. It was a church that they got famous for in Miami. I don't know if you probably know them, where they take a group of boys and they get them suits, like so that they on Sundays can look presentable. To go to church or
I don't know that particular organization, but
you heard of it, right? That's what it kind of reminds me of, like a workshop but like better yourself, man. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So what, like resume building, you know?
Yeah, like so this first one we doing January 17th is more like vision board, goal setting.
Okay.
You know, having a growth mindset. Those are the main things, you know, just going into the
That's
new
awesome.
year,
So you guys are getting
health.
like into it's not so much an outward thing, like, you know, get a nice suit or help you get a job or anything like that. But you guys are focusing even more on the internal, like you know, healthy mind, healthy body.
Yeah, like
it's funny how we don't have that in school.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
weird.
not really. Yeah, no, PE don't
and
count for
the thing
that.
is, it's like when you know, people in community development, they always want to push, you know, certain and blanket issues,
right?
With people, and my thing has always been, and probably one of the more reasons why I'm more laid back and conservative in the way I move and different things. Like I'm more liberal how I move, but I'm kind of laid back, and it's more because I'm more thoughtful of these things. Like, you know, because I go through it my damn self, and I still stay in the neighborhood. A lot of people don't still stay in the neighborhood,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I just came from Liberty City, so that's where I stay. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm in it, you know, gunshots and you know, helicopters every day. Like,
yeah,
you
you're
know
on the
what I mean?
field.
You know,
Yeah.
so and I don't say that to really brag. It's just like, you know, when you in it and you from somewhere,
You understand
it's one
it more.
thing. But when you from there and you still in it, it's a
Yeah.
whole nother thing.
Right.
It's like it's a whole nother thing, you know, and it's difficult, you know, sometimes to work across the aisle sometimes because they don't understand certain, you know, codes and
Right.
things are delicate. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
law is different over there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Has it ever been hard for you when you go to maybe political events and you try to speak to people on the other side of the aisle and they just either have you ever had issues with where you can't, it's hard to explain it to them because they can't understand or they're just unwilling to understand?
Some people are just they unwilling to understand, but at the same time, like the thing is, most people don't want to engage in the discussion. They don't want to go. They don't want to fight past the rough parts.
Right.
So I've never had an issue like explaining my side to other folk, you know, because they can kind of relate. Like I've sat at the table with developers, right, and told them like, look, you want innovation. Innovation means change. My people want change.
Right.
You got an opportunity. My people want an opportunity. We want the same things at the end of the day. It's just picking out what you know they want and what we want.
Right. Finding common ground.
Finding some common ground. Because at the end of the day, even I say this all the time, you know, we fighting a losing battle, like ignoring people who support Trump. You know, and divide. Like we add more to the divide than we are to like coming together. Like
exactly.
I think at this point they're putting people who are in favor of Donald Trump in like to like a corner. And they're just not paying attention. They're like, well, see no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah,
like,
and that's the thing. And it just gets worse and worse, right? So, you know, my thing is always to talk to people across the aisle because I'm always want to know what's the other side of that. Like, you know, I hear things, you know, like I always tell people like LGBTQ community, right? Plus, minus, all that. So they come with all the pronouns, say this, that, say that. And I go to my people in the neighborhood. man, what the fuck that is?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's not a cause. That's
it's like, man, I gotta pay my bills, man. I ain't worried
exactly
about no damn pronoun. Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like that's
real.
because
and they push these agendas and these issues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it don't necessarily become beneficial. Like a lot of times, like and
it's
then,
sort of attacking at one point.
yeah,
It's just
and then you learn like when you speak to people across the aisle, like healthcare with people who vote for Trump. It's like, bro, you know you fucked yourself even more.
yeah.
Because on the healthcare tip, like literally that shit, that Obamacare shit that you so called hate because you gotta get it.
It's like
it
one.
It works in your favor.
Yeah.
Like they're drilling in your fucking backyard.
It's like the last thing.
And spraying chemicals over your house daily. Mm-hmm. And you got this weird ass disease that is unique as fuck. It's like 1 in 1 million and some shit.
Yeah.
Or 1 in 100,000. And you got it. And now you don't know how, you know what I'm saying?
You can't go to the doctor now.
You can't go to the doctor, no none of that shit. So that shit worked in your favor. Now you don't get it. Now he done cut pre-existing conditions. Now you fucked.
Exactly.
And see, that's the thing. It's like finding that common ground. You know what I mean? And speaking to people, like I'm not always concrete on where I believe, like where my beliefs are, because I'd rather be educated on what the other side is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like I used to be like, man, what's all this Israel talk? You know, and then I find out, oh, that's what's going on with Palestine. You see, they fire Mark Lamont Hill, but the real issue behind that is, they don't want to talk to. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to have that discussion live on TV and just discuss the facts. You feel me? And that's the thing with a lot.
That's actually one of the subjects I'm glad Donald Trump hasn't touched yet. Imagine if he would have been involved as involved into that.
No,
as North Korea, bro.
Exactly, and the thing
war would be started so quick.
But this is the thing: you got everybody who says "Free Palestine" is anti-Semitic in some type of way, somehow, and you like how? You know what I mean? It's not saying, it's just like, no, the history states that y'all fucked them people over a long time ago. America was in on the shit, and they've been paying y'all since.
And it's funny because then on the other side, then you have, the people that are screaming "Free Israel," and they're anti-Islamic. You know what I'm saying? And they're just as bad, but from the opposite direction.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I look at it like they when you look somewhat the same. Why is there such a fucking divide on one thing?
Well, yeah, maybe
I'm looking at it very simplified.
Yeah,
but it's like if you and me are Spanish, but we're gonna fucking disagree because I'm Peruvian and you're Ecuadorian. Yeah. It's just that's just so stupid.
Silly,
we live in the goddamn same continent.
It's more about like Palestinian. That was Palestinian land.
Right.
Right.
They literally stole, killed people. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's the more. It's like the same plight with African Americans and blacks, like coming over here and we being brought here. It's like, no, we want to be the fuck over there.
Yeah.
Land of milk and honey, but you brought us the fuck over here
forcefully.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's the same thing. With them, it's like, no, y'all motherfuckers did this shit so many years ago,
right?
Occupying this one little corner that y'all keep building on, and then telling us we can't stay here. Like, where the fuck we gonna go? Eventually, I'm gonna fight back.
It doesn't help that we're over here, like on one side, one of their sides.
I know the biggest,
exactly.
The biggest point of contention, especially in that particular issue, is that they both credit Jerusalem as their capital. Yeah. That's a big issue. So the capital city is like ground zero. For everything that's happening over there, between Gaza,
for a place that's supposed to be so sacred as Jesus's, like, what is it? Resting place? Is that what they call it?
Yeah,
it's covered in blood. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, if you really boil down to it, the entire
true,
yeah, exactly,
true.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to use Trump logic here, though. I'm trying to use Trump logic.
Blood, man.
Soaked. You know what I mean? But now that what do you call it? Now that you guys are running this program, so you said January 17th is going to be the first one.
Yeah.
That you guys are going to be hosting, and you guys are bringing back. Now you guys are. I'm guessing it's going to be local DJs, local acts, and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. So we gonna bring back like local DJs, right? DJ Uncle Al Jr., which is DJ Uncle Al's actual son. I've been in talks with, just to do it the right way, in a way that something that the family respects. Down there in Liberty City, we always used to do what was called a pack jam. It was a party, so we're gonna try to mimic that a little bit, but we ain't gonna bring it back all the way.
True. Because I remember hearing about the pack jams and stuff like that. My older brothers used to talk about that shit. And,
it was wild. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's like its own little freaknik.
Yeah, exactly. Every week. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
Like, for us, we just want to bring back the vibe, the culture of the community, and talk about real issues. You know what I mean? That matter. Amendment 4 was one of those things that was brought up.
Like a fun social interaction.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Like Amendment 4, like I said, was one of those things that was brought up last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when Amendment 4, like basically Desmond Meade, I met him 2014 at the Dream Defenders Congress. So we linked up 2014. He's from the Scott Projects. You know what I mean? So that's actually where I'm from.
True.
Like I'm from Liberty City, but I'm not from the Scott Project. But a lot of my homies and shit from the Scott Projects or whatever.
True.
So old heads, you know what I'm saying? Because the Scott Projects got towed down, a long time ago, and they shipped a whole bunch of people, displaced a whole bunch of people, and placed them down south, and they scattered other areas. So, and that's a whole nother story. But Desmond Meade, bastards. Yeah, Desmond Meade was from that area, man, and he was like on drugs, what we call a baser, down at the crib. So, and he said one day, man, he was just like in and out of jail and some different things, and he was at the railroad. Literally, it's like through the Scott Projects on 7-1. It's some railroad tracks, and he was on the railroad tracks waiting for the train to come, but the train never came. You know what I'm saying? So he took that as an opportunity, and he went back to school. So to try to do right. So in the midst of him trying to do right, he was in, I forget, he go back to jail or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to jail. When he do that, he get out. His mom passed while he was in jail.
Damn.
So while his mom passed while he was in jail, he got out and he did right. You know what I mean? By just trying to do right. And he got his Juris Doctorate. So basically he's a lawyer, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
But because he's a felon, you know what I'm saying?
Can't vote.
He has no rights.
So this is something like that was Nan did to him, something that's personal, something he's been fighting. He's pretty much like the spotlight guy that's been fighting this issue.
Right.
True.
I want to credit a couple of phenomenal black women that was also at the top that pretty much worked on the policy behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The Second Chances policy. I don't know the names directly. I know it was like a couple of them at the top that was really instrumental, like in getting that policy through.
That's awesome.
So like
that's a big thing. I mean, we incarcerate a lot of people, more people than anybody in any other country per day.
Yeah, I mean in Florida, it's
so much that we don't even have enough cells for the people.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I mean, and what's crazy, in order for I have this notion that in order for like somebody to like free themselves, they have to oppress someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's fucked up, but it's like that's just my thing. Like, there's no way like somebody's not going to be on the
somebody
bottom.
Has to pay.
That's true.
Somebody has to be on the bottom.
Somebody has to pay the bill.
That's the rule throughout history.
And it's like and it's fucked up as it is. It's like in order for the American people to be free from capitalism, we have to incarcerate people and put people in prison in order for them to subsidize the cost of labor.
Yep.
Because all this country was built off of business model wise is free labor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the closest we can get back to free labor, the better the economy.
Yeah.
Right.
And the boom. Every time there's a boom, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people in poverty are being taken advantage of because they just can't simply provide this service.
And as bad as it is now, it was worse back then because they used to have debtor's jail. You know debtor's jail?
Oh yeah, debtor's jail. Of course.
That's insane. Well, if you owe some money to the state, they can incarcerate you. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah. They somewhat have that in a way. It's still in America. It's just in a roundabout way where if you miss your bond or something,
license suspension,
that's kind of debtor's jail. It's just support. It's something a little different. It's just worded differently.
Yeah, child support and stuff like that.
I mean, they had convict leasing. The black codes. You know what I'm saying? Like the 13th Amendment, like talks about it. Like the minute you might as well say like the minute they convict you, like
That's it.
You get slaved, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
That's it. They
you
tag
in
you.
a
That's
system,
it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You back in a system.
The system is very well made for if you have money, you have a chance.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
the
a
only way.
chance.
That's the only way.
Depending
to
on
do it.
how bad your charge is, you have a chance. But if you're just like a regular other person who, pays their bills, has a 9 to 5, it's bleak.
Slim to none.
It's bleak.
Slim to none. So, Munch, thank you very much for coming today. I know you got a heart out. You got somewhere to be right now.
What, do you?
Just once again, where can the people find you online? And again, let them know about the event going on in January.
So January 17th, Peace in the Hood. We identify problems, discuss solutions. Paying tribute to Peace in the Hood. Uncle Al. You can find the Machiavelli Munch, Machiavelli _Munch. That's MAKAVELLI_MUNCH. Or All Like Minds. That's ALLLIKEMINDS.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the links will be in the description.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put that down in there as well. But yeah, thank you very much, Munch. We greatly do appreciate you coming through, man.
Sorry I couldn't be here that long, man.
Nah, it's good. It just means we just gotta have you back.
How long did we go? How long did we go?
Shit, 45 minutes.
That's 45 minutes of history and knowledge.
I learned a lot in that short amount of time. I learned a lot, man. Seriously. But yeah, thank you very much, Munch. We're gonna go ahead and let you go. So Machiavelli _Munch. Please go ahead and check it out. As y'all can see, man, the brothers, coming with the cosign from Emmanuel George, we're like, we knew this was gonna be dope. We know he's a dope dude.
Yeah,
so
Manny's one of my guys, man. So the whole thing behind Peace in the Hood, right, is like we have in All Like Minds Media is creating a cross generational platform and network, and that's why we had a membership, right? So we want to build communities locally. Block by block, you know what I'm saying, region by region. So we on a mission from basically South Florida plus Orlando is what we call it.
Okay.
In the next year to 2 years, we want to solidify the markets between South Florida and Orlando media wise, so that when things happen in our communities, we can start to branch out and push these messages out effectively, right? So that people can get it. So like. For instance, let's just say we up here. I don't even know the area that's up in North Lauderdale, right?
Right.
So you have people in Lauderdale, right? They listen to your podcast or however it's called, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the segment.
Podcast is good.
Podcast
works. Podcast works.
So, because I was like, I don't know if he did it on the internet the last time he did a podcast. So, so. When you had a podcast or whatever, whatnot, it goes out to and for mine's Trapping Ain't Dead, it's mainly Hollywood,
right?
I know a lot of people in Hollywood. So if something's going on and we out there, we know specifically these areas, we linked up,
right?
Like we could target Hollywood, quick,
right?
Because during the hurricane with last year, what it was last year, or the year before, I can't even remember.
Last year.
I think it was
last year, yeah,
right.
2017. Yeah.
So we did the hurricane, and I put out one Facebook post, and then one Facebook post I had over like 56 shares and like 200 comments in like 2 days.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like as far as like people, and we like literally were able to print out a map. Well, we already had the map, but pinpoint where power was out. And then effectively go to those areas and say these areas concentrated with the most people. Like we just said, send the coordinates, and they would just send it. And we was like, look, this is the area they ain't got no lights the most. If it's an area that they ain't got city support, and we was like strategically doing it. Like,
so you guys are like directing like FPNL and everything. Like this is like, where you got to go.
We wasn't directing FPNL, but to an extent, they started to listen to us.
True.
Towards the end,
right.
Like because they was like, oh shit, he really got a system.
Yeah.
They really know what the fuck they talking about.
Yeah, I remember Emmanuel was putting out posts for if anybody was like needing food, if anybody needed ice to refrigerate their food.
Yeah.
And then people were just swarming his inbox,
So yeah, it's a community network. So like Black Broward is pretty much like our base for Broward.
True.
So Manny's like the LT for all like mines, you know
True.
what I mean? Like as
True.
far as like Broward is concerned, like anything in Broward, I'll be like, no, y'all call Manny. I ain't dealing with nothing other than I see y'all to Manny. Like, and that's how we work. Anything in Dade, he pretty much come holler at me. Anytime I'm up here, I come holler at him. I called him earlier, like I'm coming up your way. You know what I mean? That's just what we do. We just check. We call it checking in.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
So,
sure.
so we just know when each other in the area.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Emmanuel George, man, friend of the show, yo.
No, we definitely are. I mean, everybody in the city is indebted to people like you, Manny.
Yeah.
Because you guys are the ones are stepping into the community.
You guys are in the
It's different
trenches.
what we do. We're doing media.
Yeah, and I want to talk to y'all because when it comes to the gamers, man, and I think about the black community, the communities of color, like I think about like how many of us like play video games and not really in the industry.
A lot of us.
You know what I mean? Like,
there's definitely something we could do with that.
Like it's code.
That's an untapped market.
Technology is so many different things. Like we should have our own Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like we should have our own like people who can code and animate videos. Like my little niece, man, is like she just turned 10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She was born. Yeah, she just turned 10 or 11, right? So she's in it like animations.
Okay.
Right now, and I'm sitting there like, okay, you can do this with animation. This. Okay, yeah, we gonna get you right. Like I'm already giving her the Adobe Animate,
right,
all
True.
that shit, like Photoshop, whatever you want. Like me and my girl, like her mama, like whatever the fuck you want. Like she just came home with some great.
Yeah, nurture that.
All right, we get like, I told her mama like she can get my iPad. Nah, fuck that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like, have it.
She was like, no, we getting an iPad for Christmas, like the big one. I said, okay.
That was one of the reasons why
That's
I got
dope.
into podcasting and wanting to be more out there, because I was like, you know what, I'm knowledgeable about something. Let me try and put my voice out there, because when I wanted to do animation, because I was into drawing when I was a kid, there was no platform or anything here in Florida.
Exactly.
I went to Miami, and the only thing they had was the Art Institute, and even they told me, listen, our animation program is not all that, because that's not our number one thing here.
Exactly.
And if you do it, you might as well move to either Japan or California, because that's really where it is.
Where it is, yeah.
And I didn't want to. My mother's like, "There's no way we can afford that." So I had to. So that's why when I started to realize that I was so knowledgeable in it, I can have a voice. I helped with a lot of in the Kill Your Heroes podcast we had before. I helped with a lot of Japanese people that I knew who are animators, because over there in Japan, it's crazy how they get paid. They get paid like to the sense of what we get paid.
Let's talk about it, because I had a conversation with I know a lot of people, and that I never really take advantage of. I always tell these people like networking is important, but it's not important if you don't take
right.
You
Utilize
right?
it. Yeah.
So one of my mentors, one of the big homies to me, is Derek Pearson from Black Tech Week.
True.
So with that, he's big into like Afrofuturism. Animation, different things, we always talk about, it's like Pinky in the Brain. Right. I'm like, what are we gonna do today? He's like, take over the world. Like, what I'm saying, on some technology shit, right? Like, you computer scientist, mathematician,
That's
there,
awesome.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So,
we gotta talk to him.
Yeah, like we had a conversation, and I want to, bring it together. He had a conversation about like, what do I want to see at Black Tech Week, and I had thought about it. He said, I want you to think about it. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there's so many different avenues for us is people of color that like avenues to get into, but we don't necessarily get into them,
pursue them,
right,
and pursue them. You know what I mean? And we don't necessarily know that those avenues are even there.
And there's a market for them in anime.
There's a market for it. Like I said,
when Jaden Smith did his little anime, it was very well received.
Like, think about it. Like, it's all about the content you create.
Right.
Like even down to the pet. Like I'm looking at all the like characters and figures in here, and I'm like 3D printing.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, that's a whole nother market. Like,
oh yeah.
And people who like drawing, like,
that's a scary market for some people.
Yeah. Like, the difference between me and a lot of people, like, I didn't go to the regular route with audio. I was like, no, I don't want to just do the union route. You go do all these shows that you get paid. You got to pay union dues.
Right.
And you it's a job. It's not nothing you really like. Like, I got involved with the artists. I pretty much knew them, like stage management. I done moved up and did things that a lot of other cats ain't do. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been at a lot of bigger venue shows, big shows. And, they brag because they get to do big shows all the time. And to me, it's like, yo, I'm here with Zoe when Zoe's like, he got like 1 or 2 records out.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I was here when Denzel Curry, like, was in my car, like, picking him up from high school type shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
So it was like, it's like, so what? You know what I mean?
It's
like,
a day and age. It's the
I mean?
you need to have the clout.
Yeah.
It's all about the clout now.
Clout, clout chasing and whatnot.
Remember back in the day when you can have talent and make it? Not anymore.
Yeah.
That's about likes. That's about likes. But
how many likes you got?
We don't want to keep you any longer. I know you got to go here, but we're just sitting here rambling on. But yeah, people, please go ahead and holla at my man, All Like Minds, Machiavelli_Munch. Please holla at your boy, because as y'all can see, he's probably one of the coolest dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, that we met out here. So
we'll try and get him on for another show.
yeah, we definitely got to have you back on.
I would
for sure.
love to have you and a manga at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I feel like that would be a
man
great
is
one.
a true gamer, so
Yeah.
he got way more gamer content.
Every time he comes, he's like, "Did you see the new Smash Brothers?" I'm like,
he's on it. Like
he's going in.
I wish I was like on it. My girl's like into like animation. She's like an artist too.
Yeah.
She's a designer, fashion designer, illustration, but like she do a lot of design shit. Like
True.
And like she the one put me on like anime and shit. Like, cause I used to be like, nah. I was
watch
like,
cartoons.
like imagine somebody in the streets, like totally in street culture that just had to cross over. Like that was me.
Yeah.
yeah. There's some animes for street guys. I'll tell you right now, like Samurai. I think a lot of street guys love Samurai Champloo. It's like one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
It's perfect for them.
Yeah,
it's
Cowboy
perfect
Bebop,
for them.
you know?
Cowboy
Exactly.
Bebop.
Yeah,
you need that edginess. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta
a
have
Naruto's not going to do it for him.
Nah.
A Dragon Ball Z, it's not his cup
But
of tea.
I did watch it, but
Yeah.
He needs that edginess, you know.
But yeah, man, we appreciate you coming through, man, for sure, brother. So thanks for coming through, man. So yeah,
We'll figure it out as we go. Are we back?
and we're back.
We're back.
You know, for y'all that was instantaneously. But yeah, that was the homie Munch at Machiavelli_Munch, All Like Minds. You know what I'm saying? Be sure to check them out, man. But yeah, that was very informative, man. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I did too.
You know, like I didn't know all that stuff about.
It was very insightful how he didn't know personally Trayvon Martin, but he knew of him, and I was thrown back alone when I found out about Trayvon Martin. I can imagine if I knew of him already.
Yeah, I knew him.
I'd be like, "What? Are you kidding me?" When I find out people died that I know, like it's a shock when they if they pass away or something.
It really is a fucking shocker.
Huh?
It really is a fucking shocker.
It's a shocker. From Spider-Man.
Jesus fucking Christ! Look at this dude.
Anyways, yeah, we got to have him on again. I would love to have him and Emmanuel on. That would be a very, very good podcast.
I'll look
See
at
that policy.
I'm gonna figure how to do that. But
Yeah, we gotta arrange that for sure, man. You know what I'm
So
saying?
one of the things that we didn't get to touch on, let's go ahead and talk about the Ebro situation with Kodak. Did you see it?
Ah, dude.
Did you see it?
Did you not see it?
Did you see
man? How did you not see it? First of all, fuck you, Ebro. Seriously, because that was just foul. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Listen,
I want to know what did he think he was gonna say.
I understand. Listen. I know you saw the Tory Lanez video. That's why you're saying that. But
Tory Lanez video?
Yeah.
Oh, the only one I saw was an Instagram post about Trick Daddy.
He was on Everyday Struggle, and he was talking about how.
Oh, I don't watch Everyday Struggle after Joe left.
That's a bitch move, and all this other shit. And he was.
They've
saying
had
that,
like what
the same
3
exact point.
fucking host changes since Joe left.
So
I stopped. I just watched the Joe Budden podcast now. That's the Daily Struggle.
the
or Everyday Struggle, whatever it's called.
what do you call it?
It's just how can you
He
expect
wanted
somebody?
he wanted to talk about it, but
how
the
can
thing
you
was-
expect somebody who's literally in the middle of the case?
right. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make. He's
Are you, like-
but you also, and I'm like, I understand that you want to have a discussion about it, but you also know that this is currently an open case. So for him to say anything about it would incriminate himself in every way, shape, or form. And that's completely
interviewing 101.
You know what I mean?
Ebro.
And the thing is, and it doesn't help Ebro's legacy because he already has the tag of, you know, the old hating, the hating old man.
I don't even. The only show I watch every once in a while is The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, same here.
I'm not big into hip hop shows as I once was. When I did, I was watching like
I used to watch all of them, bro. Power 106, LA Leakers.
whatever I caught on the radio, I would listen to basically. I don't know the names, but I don't know much about Ebro, but from just really he
used to be the program director at Hot 97.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is 2 things. I know about this incident now, and I know about the incident when he basically said that 50 Cent is the one that ruined hip hop in New York.
Yeah, Ebro's history, his credentials are legit. Like he's I want to say he's college educated, graduated, holds a degree in, I think, communications, has been a part of the industry for, many years. But he was doing a lot of behind the scenes shit, prior to this, and then within the last 5 to 7 years or so, he's gotten in front of the mic.
He's like a Charlemagne.
You know what I'm saying?
Behind the scenes shit.
Well, no, because even Charlemagne at the end of the day, he started in front of the mic. He was
I see what you mean.
He was a sidekick at Wendy Williams,
right,
but
right.
you know what I'm saying. Nonetheless, he had a microphone. But Ebro was doing all the behind the scenes shit prior to all of this.
Yeah, these two incidents that I've seen. I mean, it's not good. It's not a good look for him. As a casual fan of his, that I'm not even a fan. It's just somebody that I've seen. Casual viewer. It doesn't look good.
Right.
Especially, it's like, listen, when there have been other people that have been in that same position of having an impending case and have gone on other interviews, they don't ask them that. What are the reasons why? It's because they know they're not going to get a word out because they literally can't talk about it. They're legally their defense is going to tell them you cannot speak about this to anybody.
Yeah, at all.
It doesn't matter who you are
on any basis. Yeah.
So it's just like it's just a waste of a question. And not only is it a waste of a question, you're just gonna get the fucking interviewer upset. I mean, Kodak. I mean, really, in anybody's situation, they would get upset. Like, come on, I can't speak anything. So now I'm defenseless because now you're just giving statements, and I can't say a goddamn word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to wait months, years before this whole thing ends, and then I can finally rebuttal your shit.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? And it sucks that the interview had to end in the way that it did. You know what I'm saying? Because I was watching a little bit of the video before that.
His co-hosts were looking so like, okay.
They
had no idea.
Paul Rosenberg, for
God
sure.
bless him, he tried.
He was like, oh, that's a shame. I remember
he tried.
He's like, well, we can be done just right here. Like, and I mean,
the way that's the way he acted is what annoyed me.
Ebro is fucking
good on Kodak, man.
Famous for just, he does a lot what I like to call the shit sandwich. So he had Big Crit on,
What is it called again?
The shit sandwich. That's what I call it. Here's what I mean.
Is it a cold or can you get it steamed?
Here's what I'm talking about. So I'm a Big
Crit fan.
Yeah, big Crit fan. So he was on this morning with Ebro or whatever.
This morning?
Whatever the fuck the show's called.
Oh, I thought you meant like this one. Is that what the show's called, This Morning?
Yeah, something like that. Something.
Mañana con Ebro.
Oh, Ebro in the Morning. That's what it's called. Ebro in the Morning.
Oh, so it's his show.
Yeah, it's his show.
I thought it was like a Hot 97, like the Breakfast Club.
No. It's Ebro in the Morning,
and
that's their version of that's their morning show.
Oh,
that's their version. That's their. You know what I'm saying? Breakfast Club's Power 105. Hot 97's is Ebro in the Morning with Paul Rosenberg and Laura Stiles.
Latina chick number 1.
Laura Stiles, I think that's her name. I want to say. What do you call it? And he had him on, and literally, this is at the beginning. I'm talking literally like at the beginning of the interview. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Big Crit on here. Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? He's dropping a new album, and gives him this intro, and then he's like, okay. So after he drops the intro, he's like, okay. So he's like, you know what I'm saying? You're dropping a new album, you know what I'm saying? And I've heard it is dope. I'm going to get to the things that I don't like about you in a minute, but I want to talk about the album real quick. Like, and I remember hearing that, and I'm just like, it's to the point now where I've,
snobby.
maybe this is just, corny or what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Just insane to think, but like, I've actually practiced rebuttals to mock interviews from Ebro if he was to do some shit to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I ever have an interview at Ebro in the Morning and he tries to be like, listen, I've heard the album. I'm going to get to the shit I don't like.
I would never be on a show.
Oh, I would totally do it. No. Because I can totally, have that conversation with him.
I don't mind having the conversation with him.
Making him look foolish.
He can come on my platform if he wants to, because I'll definitely have a YouTube channel still.
Oh, for sure.
So he can come on my shit, but no, I'm not coming on your shit just for...
I would totally do that.
It's just because I'm not... I'm not gonna
You
listen. If I wanted to debate somebody, I have to feel like they're worthy of it. Ebro's just not.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, fair enough. That's your opinion.
like
you know what I'm
the
saying? Me,
jackass.
I would totally
just-
love an invitation.
Yeah,
out
like
there
if you're
to just go
I
see
just
it.
don't even want to bother.
You know
it's
what
just
I mean?
because you know what he is. He's a long line of people that I've heard before.
Oh, totally.
So it's just like you're just a
Contrarian.
carbon copy of the last guy.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't want to. Yeah, no. I want to talk to somebody who's like if they're gonna shit on me, they're shitting on me in a whole different new way. That's the guy I want to fucking debate. And I'm like, well, how did this happen? You know what I mean? Like, but Ebro, I'm just like, so what? You're gonna tell me the things you don't like about me.
But see,
I'm not gonna be able to change those facts.
but once again, the two
Why am I
you've said it yourself as a casual viewer. The only times you ever really seen him was the Kodak shit and then the 50
the
Cent
50
shit.
was egregious. I'm like, how are you gonna blame one man on the entire state of hip hop in New York, and he's the reason why it died? What?
Have you listened to the argument?
I've heard the argument, how he basically was just beefing with everybody, and I'm like, I mean, there was a bunch of people he wasn't. It's not like you.
Okay, true. I forgot that's kind of like the route that he took. That he divided everybody and shit.
Are you divided? Are we?
Like
are we not
single-handedly?
speaking about hip hop, where beefs happen every day?
You know what I'm saying?
What?
Niggas
You're
beef
gonna so the thing that you think the
niggas beef
thing
every
that
day,
we
B.
listen. There's probably three things
We never hung.
hip hop fans like. We like a good album. We like a really witty rapper. At least I do.
Mm-hmm.
And we love beefs. Beefs are really good for hip hop. They're very intriguing.
When they're legit.
When they're legit beefs, they're very intriguing.
When it's just stupid, silly shit, it's just like, oh, come on.
Yeah, like the
2018 was great for rap beefs.
The Game versus 50, great beef. 50 versus Ja Rule, great beef. Even though, I mean, those ended in some murders. I'm still saying, great beef. Fucking Jay-Z and Nas, phenomenal beef.
Epic beef.
Tupac versus Biggie,
That was sad.
even though it was
That was
sad,
sad.
it was a pretty fucking epic beef when it was going on.
It
was like a Romeo and Juliet shit.
It was like,
that was
it
a
was
tragedy.
insane.
That was a
it
tragedy.
ended in tragedy.
That was tragic.
It ended in tragedy. But
You know what I'm
in the
saying?
midst of it, it's probably one of the more
It made beef
savage type
It
of
made
beats.
beef dirty. It gave it like the negative connotation. Like afterwards, like I remember, man. Like you know what I'm saying, as old as I am, you know, because I'm ancient. So, you know, the great sage, you know, dark sage.
Oh, I'm an old man.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bones do ache.
That was perfect. I need you to do that one more time. That has to be the intro. Out here listening to the Parental Advisory Podcast.
I'm not going through puberty over there. What am I, Benjamin
Well,
Button?
I'm not old
I
like
look
you, so
80,
I can't
but I'm
copy
technically 12. You know,
it. That's because I'm still young. I can copy that. You're older, so
I'm
you can
still young.
still young. Old
Meanwhile,
man.
his lifespan's like half of mine, considering the weight he bears. Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
I'm just saying, on behalf of your heart, stop it.
You're gonna go to hell for these jokes, I swear.
I'll see you there, buddy. I'll see you there.
I'll be in the VIP section.
Like he literally thinks gluttony's not a sin. Like
that's so true. I'm gonna get to their pearly gates and God be like, now you see your size, right?
you know you done
think
fucked
you-
up. It turns out Jesus is that black dude from those old 80s movies. You know you done fucked up, right?
Oh,
The
you know,
bald-headed black dude.
you know it'd be
what I'm
so
talking
funny. And I mean, listen, I can tell this joke because I'm fat right now. So
about? I can tell this. So it's okay.
imagine if a fat person gets to heaven, right? And because gluttony is a sin, the door is only applicable for people of normal size.
And like,
And
it's like,
no, when you get there, you see the pearly gates, and God is like, "You are here, my son. Let me show you the door." And you don't see the door until he moves. If you can pass through this door, you can get in. And you try your hardest, but that fat will not let you through.
not even that. Like you get to the pearly gates, right? And then as you see Peter at the doors, he's like, "Okay, are you ready?" He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So they open up the gates, but it's just a stage. It's just a game show with Jesus hosting. Because can they get through? Cling, 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 cling,
And then when he can't get off, it's like, "It seems you are not of the right size. Your current weight is too fucking much."
here today.
And that's when
we
the door.
have
That's when the
Hello
fucking.
Soul.
That's when the trap door or the trap floor just.
It's like the worst This Is Your Life. Like, they just replay clips of you taking, like, a second and third dessert at the buffet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That fourth time you went for wings.
With one shining moment playing in the background.
You know what I mean?
You brought your own.
With one shining moment.
You know? Oh, they show him. Oh, but he did go that one time to the soup kitchen and and gave his time to the homeless. But then he fucked it up because then he snuck a bowl of soup in the back, you know, without them noticing.
He took 2 cans of soup. Fuck it.
Never
Motherfucker. Chunky, too. He didn't even take the Campbell's, the son of a bitch. He got the good stuff. He got the steak and potatoes.
Savage.
He got the chunky chicken soup, Mo. He got the chunky chicken.
Lord.
Lord.
What were we talking about?
Ebro, yo. But yeah, man, like, I've actually, you know, but like I was telling you, like, as cheesy as this may sound, I've actually thought about, I've done, like, mock interviews with myself. You know, pretending to be Ebro, and if he would do some shit to me like that, you know, like, listen, I've heard the album, you know what I'm saying, and it's great and all, you know, I'm gonna get to the shit I don't like in a minute, but first, and I'm like, you know, the first thing I'd be like, you know, I've actually been meaning to ask you this, Ebro, you know, as a fan of the genre and Hot 97.
Are you doing the mock interview right now?
Yeah, right now, you know, like, I'd be like, you know,
this ain't creepy at all.
Does that work for you? Does that work normally for you?
It's just a middle-aged man just fantasizing about talking to another man on a radio show.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I'm flicking my bean, apparently.
Tell me more, Ebro.
Just tweaking my nips. Like I'm searching for radio channel, you know, in the middle of war.
Keep going.
Oh,
he laughed himself into a cough. Jesus.
Yes. But
I mean, listen, if I had an interview
like, that's honestly what I would ask, and I'm like, why would you take that approach to the interview?
See, I don't even know. You're just giving him ammo.
Just wanted just a little bit more of a spotlight, just to be a jackass. You know,
well, right.
If anything, I would go on there and
obviously
tell him all the things I don't like about him. I'm like, well, if we're in the mood to tell what we don't like.
But see, that's the thing. I can do that without saying it. That's what I mean.
No, I want it to be known. See, that's the thing with Ebro. If I was in an interview with Ebro, I wouldn't want to go a roundabout way of doing it. I want you to know the things I don't like.
I think my superpower is the fact that I'm able to call somebody a bitch nigga without using those 2 words.
I think my superpower is that I'm able to say it directly to them.
Honestly, it's like but here's the thing. I can get the equal amount of embarrassment. I just take the long about way. But that's just because I'm a sadist.
Yeah, like, I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'm fat. I don't like to do the long
Yeah, that's fair enough. True. You count your steps, literally. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? 17 steps to the bathroom. Ooh. Fuck it. I'm just going to piss here.
If I take 20 steps, my fucking, my Samsung watch is going to be like, great job. Great job. Phenomenal.
Milestone. Achievement.
Oh. You passed your goal and then some.
I'm fucking done with you, bro.
I almost did kill Serve. Yes, I almost did. I'm right now. I'm currently breaking Serve. What you're hearing is Serve breaking. Serve doesn't cry. Serve doesn't yell when he's in pain. He laughs. He laughs with pain. He laughs with pain.
I can just see the thing just like confetti and shit on the screen of the watch. Fucking asshole.
Oh well, I have the Fallout theme on my shit, so it's the Pip-Boy going, "Good job." Doing a number on Serve right now. I'm breaking him.
That's right. It's just because I can see that stupid smile that little bastard has. Just
Pick up your Pip-Boy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that was good. Oh, well, frankly, I don't think we could end it any better.
I will say,
now he kills it.
I give props for Kodak, because
yeah,
even when Ebro was kind of like, even at the end, what was he saying at the end? He's like, oh, so you know, I think Peter Rosenberg said something to him, and he's like, oh no, if he's gonna fucking do this shit, he's on my show and all this shit. Kodak didn't say shit.
Yeah, he
Kodak
just
walked out.
walked
He
out.
professionally just said, "Okay,
Okay.
I'm out."
Yeah, like
And he'd even talk about it on the next show he did on because he did another show on Hot 97, I think, or so on
the next day he on his show. He talked about he was like, listen, I was not trying to make the interview go that way.
I was trying to open the discussion.
The discussion, and it's like,
what a way to open it.
Yeah, but it's like, I understand your intent, but your approach was, so you're involved in a sexual harassment case. What's going on with that? Like, basically, here in Hot 97, where we don't condone and this, that, and the third. So, what's up with that? And you're just like,
I give that a bullshit out of 10.
I was just like I remember when I was watching it, I was just like, wait, if you've done your job prior to this interview, then you know for a fact that he can't speak on this.
Well, the fact that the way he brought it up, that says something in itself. Because
can you put the video on real quick?
Hold on. Well, I just want to make this point. The way he said it, I'll put it on right now. The way he was bringing it up, it was as if he was already guilty. The way he had brought it up, he's like, these things happen all the time, and we don't like it. You know what I mean? Hopefully when the next time we can open that discussion. And I was like, you're kind of making it seem like he's like guilty already, and that you want him to talk about how guilty he was. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah,
it didn't sound like you were trying to open the conversation. It was sounding like you're trying to direct a form of guilt towards him, so that he can fucking say what you want him to say, like a fucking puppet. I mean, that's just my deduction from watching this idiot.
Your deduction, you mean?
No, my deduction. I gotta speak like him.
Deduction. You're a fucking deduction.
I like that.
I just want to get the part. Here it is. Can you pause it?
Pause what?
We'll pause it right here. Yeah.
Oh, what? We can't play it?
No, because we'll get copyrighted by High 97. Just pause it. We'll just.
So, now, okay, so we watched the video, we watched the rebuttal videos and everything that. Now,
that's 5 minutes I'm never gonna get back.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, man, shout out to Kodak, bro. Seriously. I mean, despite I understand what Ebro was trying to do, but like I said, and Rosenberg has proven my point watching this video here of Kodak the next day at Breakfast Club talking about, he said exactly what Rosenberg was talking about. He was like, as far as I was concerned, we had discussed the subject already. You had already brought it up. You got it tense. He said it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, the interview was going so good. So good. And then you just brought it back to this place. And that's exactly, word for word, what Rosenberg was talking about.
And this is, because I don't even want to talk about this shit anymore. But this is the last thing I'm going to say.
See, he brings it up, and now he's the one who's like,
it's because now the more the videos that we saw, and just us looking at it even deeper, it's just so stupid now. It's even more stupider than what it was.
It's frivolous as shit. But here's the thing. You know who fucked up?
I just want to say
Ebro fucked up.
This is the thing. I'm not really as upset about him bringing up the question, because you as an interviewer can bring up whatever you want.
Right.
That's true.
You are well within your right. Yes.
And I'm more upset that he can't say nothing. So it's just you're knowingly going to end it either in a bad way or in an awkward way. There's no good way of ending
But
this
that's what homie was talking about.
It's now what is more egregious is the way he acted after.
Right.
That is, to me, the biggest problem.
Yeah.
All right. If you're trying to be when you're giving interviews, you're trying to allow that person to give their information or their platform or whatever political whatever the interview type it is. You as the interviewer have to somewhat remain, not, I wouldn't say bias, but you need to have an open mind about what they're saying to be able to have an open dialogue. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just can't be like, well, no matter what you say, I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to agree. Sorry. I'm just like, so you're not. So what are they doing? He might as well have an interview with somebody who's ready to open up the dialogue for that. The way he opened it up was very
like a boss. The way a boss would approach an employee.
Right.
You know, we take sexual harassment seriously here. Like, it felt like a speech from the HR department.
You were definitely. It felt like he was undermining him. Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
But it's just the aggression afterwards. First of all, he was saying he was cursing the whole time. So now for the fact that right at the end you guys are saying, well, he cursed at you. Well, a second right before that he cursed at y'all and y'all laughed. And then a second later, now it's a fucking issue. So pick your fucking your mind up.
But that's what I'm saying. At that point, he's no longer reacting from. It's no longer reacting from the question. It's reacting out of anger now. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's like, that's bullshit too. Because it's like, bro, because he's in his head, he's going, why the fuck are we here? I thought we got through this.
Either way, you can't you pick one side. I'm sorry, that's how it is.
Basically,
you know what I'm saying. If you're okay with him cussing at you for 1 second and then cussing at you and not the
right,
next,
that's what I mean.
It's stupid.
That's what I mean.
No, but what I'm saying, for him to then get upset and be like,
he cursed at y'all. I know.
No, not that part. When I'm talking about the actual interview, when he's walking out and he's just like, "You're not going to tell me what to do on my show. Fuck out of here."
Yeah.
And all that shit. It's like he's already leaving. Now you're just antagonizing him. You're trying. See, it just seems to me like he's fishing for a moment. That's what it looks like from the outside in, because no other interviewer would conduct themselves that way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even if they asked that question, they wouldn't then conduct themselves the other way. You know how many times I've seen people lash out on the Breakfast Club? Birdman, for instance.
Right.
Did you see them go, fuck out of here? And they're like, no. You know what would have happened if a fight would have probably happened.
Yeah.
They're not fishing for a moment here. They're trying to have an actual interview with Birdman. Birdman just fucking decided to have a moment himself. But you as an interviewer, it looks like you are fucking fishing for that moment. You're antagonizing him at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because one, you could have just brought up, it seems you're upset in a whole other way. You could have been like, well, let me ask you. You seem a little bit upset from the question I asked you. I just want to make sure, where we leave on good terms. You could have said it that way. Yeah, you seem upset at the question I asked you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're fucking...
And it wasn't even... And on top of the fact
you got your hands folded, you're looking at him like you're talking about him sizing you up. You look like you're sizing him up.
This is the look that he was like, that he gave him to when he said it. He was like, you seem upset by the question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's that approach of like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I say?
Oh, are you mad?
This is why I say it feels like he's entitled. Because of the wording he's using, it's like the words of somebody who feels like
who knows there's no repercussions.
No, not that there's no repercussions. Like they know that they get their way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so when Kodak is fucking like, nah, let's change the subject. He just has this look like, how dare you small P9 fucking rapper from fucking Florida, come on here, the Hot 97 show, to fucking tell me to change the subject. Right. Fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here.
Totally. That's what I'm saying. There was faults on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Not to quote our president, but
don't do that. Don't do that right now. Don't do
that. You know what I mean? But listen, Kodak did the right thing by just walking away. You know what I mean?
I don't really give a fuck that Kodak said, fuck your show, because he said that right after you told him, fuck out of here.
Yeah, so, exactly. So it's,
at that point, you're a fair game.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So kudos to Kodak for not, say that 5 times. Kudos to Kodak really fast. Yeah.
No, Kodak did a great thing.
He just walked away.
Not gonna
entertain it.
Said his little thing and walked out. He could have went ratchet.
This just completely
could have went AWOL.
This video on the Breakfast Club completely just proves Rosenberg's point to a T.
I kind of feel like
Peter, by his own admission.
I kind of feel like Peter Rosenberg wanted to say more, but obviously,
he's a sidekick on the show.
He's a sidekick on the show, so I understand his position. But it looked like he was like, no, dude, you definitely, there's fault on both, but you were definitely the catalyst. Like,
it's like, listen, you didn't.
Let's not sugarcoat this, because the way Ebro's
like,
making it seem, it's like, listen, I'm a speaker for special victims. All right, you know what I mean? I'm the fucking spokesperson. I'm gonna ask him the question because everybody wants to know, and I'm like,
did you rape that girl?
Like
goes all fucking Nancy Grace on him.
And then when the guy tells you, can we just change the subject? You're just like, no.
You seem upset. That was antagonistic. How is that antagonistic? Bro, come on. How do you not see that? You know what I mean? But he's right. Ebro does have a right to defend the people on the show. He's like, you're cursing. He's like, they just gave you an out. You know what I mean? Like they just tried to tell you about Ask the Moon Landing. You're like, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, so all right, so if this is how you're gonna fucking play it, then all right, fuck you then, bro. Get the fuck out. I completely see Ebro's point.
It's just a dumb one.
But that's what I was telling Wilmo.
I can
while
see
we
it.
were watching the video, is that all that was a good old classic textbook clusterfuck. That's all that was. It just snowballed.
Their explanation.
It just started as a little fucking grain of sand.
You know, they should have not have said shit because their explanation just made it sound worse.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? That's your explanation? Okay.
They're cursing at us.
We're fucking in Looney Town.
Did he's cursing at y'all, or did he's cursing about
He
what
curses at y'all 1 second. Y'all fucking laugh.
Man, oh, fuck y'all.
Then the second later, he curses at y'all again, and y'all get upset.
Well, see but that's the thing. It's a whole different. It's the whole different perspective. It's
looks
literally
like thick skin to me.
It's that. Well, exactly. You know what I'm saying? They approach it. Rosenberg approaches it differently. You know,
I don't even think Rosenberg approached it like that until he said it.
No,
I'm pretty sure
that's what he was trying to do, though. Like Rosenberg's that type of guy.
No, definitely. I mean,
he goes for the joke.
I'm giving Rosenberg credit, but you know, the moon landing.
It's not the
greatest.
Something. What the fuck you want him to do in that moment? He's trying to think on his feet.
That's what I'm saying. That was the perfect question to an awkward moment.
You know, the moon landing.
What do you think about that? Do you ever try DMT?
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, it fucking sucks that, you know, especially with Ebro, it just adds to the reputation that, you know, he's this old, you know, old man Ebro, they call it. You know, that's his Instagram handle.
Another check in the milestone.
You know what I'm saying? It's just another, you know, Ebro strikes again. The old hate, you know, the OG hating old man of radio. You know what I'm saying?
And listen,
the Scrooge of hip hop.
And listen, I'm not an Ebro hater because I'm not even. I don't know too much about him to hate him. I only know this instance and 50. I don't watch Hot 97.
Yeah.
I occasionally catch the one interview of.
Yeah, he's just
whenever there's someone interesting to me on the Breakfast Club.
He's very off-putting. You know what I'm saying? I've seen positive aspects of Ebro.
I'll show you.
I've seen positives.
No, you got to hear that shit. That shit's hilarious.
I've seen positive
just
aspects.
Just the moment he says,
him,
"I think you ruined it," and he's just like, "Me?" It's like 50's like, "Me? Me? Just me? Just me?"
I mean, there's an argument for that. You know, like the fact that 50 basically had like a Southern style of rapping rather than a classic New York style. When he first started talking, that wasn't until after he got shot because of the way his mouth was structured now. You know what I'm saying? And like the fact that he went with Dr. Dre and started using like West Coast sounding beats, but he's a New York artist. Because you got to remember, back in the day, hip hop was you can tell where the person was from based on the type of the sound that they were putting out. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking, you know, Jay-Z in the 90s sounded like he was from the East Coast. You know what I mean? If a Snoop Dogg track started playing, you're like, oh shit, that's a West Coast track. That's a West Coast artist.
When you hear Papa Roach, definitely California.
They came out with a new album.
You know what I'm saying?
Papa Roach?
If you
really?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
If you listen to a song and it used to have a banging 808 and a dancing hi-hat on it, you knew that was a Southern track. You know what I'm saying? So when, you know what I mean? When like the crunk era was alive and Lil Jon and the East Side Boys and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you knew that was an Atlanta track when it was coming out. You know what I mean? But now with the internet, you know, because of the internet, you know, hip hop is now global and connected. So now you have Kendrick Lamar over Southern sounding beats, and you have A$AP Rocky over Texas screw style sounding beats, and Florida artists over boom bap beats. You know what I mean? So like the fact that, you know, hip hop doesn't sound like this monotonous thing now, it's not a surprise to me. It's just one giant thing now.
This guy, so knowledgeable.
Student of the game, bro.
I mean, he's lived so long.
Yeah,
he sacrificed the height for
the dark
brain.
side.
He sacrificed the height for the knowledge.
Well, it's not. I didn't sacrifice them. It didn't sacrifice them. It was just. It's so heavy with knowledge. It just weighted.
Just
down.
weighs you down.
Stunted my growth.
It's made me look like a little boy.
It's got the density of a dying sun.
It's like
to quote my man Louis C.K.
When I was born, God told me, "Do you want knowledge or height?"
I said I'd like height, and he says, "Oh, I only have knowledge."
I don't know who he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing right
I'm
now.
a person
All I know is he's wearing a silly hat and he's Elo.
from Skyrim.
Anyhow, as always, you can find us on Parental Advisory Cast on Instagram and Facebook, Parental Podcast on Twitter, and PA Podcast on Snapchat. Parental Advisory Podcast or Cast, either one, at Gmail if you want to hit us up. Let us know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, pass the word. You know what I'm saying? We greatly do appreciate it. You can find us on the Podbean app for free. Be sure to make a free account on the Podbean app. It's available on iOS and Android devices. You could find us on all major streaming platforms as well. Anywhere that music and podcasts are streamed and or sold, you can find us there. So be sure to be on the lookout for us. I think can we announce the music stuff?
Oh, we did already.
Well, just as far as so. Okay.
So
anyhow,
guys, I'm gonna be coming out with a tape, and I granted Serve Cleverency to be on the tape.
Use cleverency in a sentence that wasn't that one. First of all, spell it. Exactly. Shut the fuck up. So, as you know, you know what I'm saying. We X Q. The X is silent.
Severancy.
The X is silent. Me and Elo, you know what I'm saying. We definitely, we're on the music tip.
Elo and I.
You know what I'm saying. You're right. You're correct, sir. Elo and I, we do music. Besides all this podcasting business that we do about. Also, we have a new tape coming out soon. We've officially announced the title. That's Serve and Soul present Serving Soul. Coming soon to all major streaming platforms near you.
Be coming out February 28th.
It's coming out January 28th, one day before my birthday. So a little present from me to y'all, as a thank you.
11 days after mine.
You know what I mean? So thank you to everybody that's been rocking with us from the jump. Thank you to everybody that streamed the Dope album on Spotify, iTunes, and everything like that. Everybody that's purchased it, thank you very much. Loving the screenshots of people listening to everything. So.
Shut up, you suck. It's all about Elo. Okay?
Yeah.
This man sends me a Snapchat one night, and it's him listening to my album. It's like, it's the greatest album alive, and like, as much as I love it, I'm over here like, hello, darkness, my old friend, because I'm just like, yeah, you're the only one listening to it, you moron.
Nah, bro. Like, I gotta call him like I see him, yo. But anyhow, we got some new music coming for y'all soon.
We got some new merch.
January.
All right, we're gonna be selling fucking basketballs with their faces on them, so you'll be able to hit them threes while you eat cheese. You know what I'm saying?
That's not happening. That's not happening one bit. No, we're not Supreme. We're not. No, we're not Airheads. No,
we're Mavericks.
Yeah. Okay, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. January 28th. Serve and Soul presents Serving Soul. New music from something that I honestly am extremely proud. Proud? I think I'm both. Proud of what we've done.
Family?
I'm excited for you guys to listen to this stuff, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it. So be on the lookout for that soon. Definitely, we're going to be we will be doing a single release. So just check it out. Coming soon. It's going to be as long as my fucking podcast. So
you seem mad.
You seem upset by the question.
By the advertisement. So we can end it right here.
Yeah,
all right.
We can just
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
if you're gonna tell us what advertisement we want.
You keep on talking
all right?
about it. You keep on talking about it, but you don't even provide a sample.
You seem mad.
You seem upset.
You
seem upset.
You got a mic in front of your face.
All right, ready?
Anyhow, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Here's the first song.
Shut
Ready?
the fuck up. So you can find me.
Well, we have come to an end.
Anyways, go eat a table.
Go eat a table.
As always, you can find me at jserve954 on all social media. JSERVE954 on all social media. My new album, my new old album, is out. Dope on all streaming platforms. So just search j.serve dope DOPE. on all major streaming platforms, and you be sure to look that up, take a listen to that. Appreciate it. Brolife.net for all the music, and yeah, holla at your boy Wilmo.
Oh, hi guys.
Hi.
My name is Wilmo. Brown guy. Find me on Instagram and Snapchat. Wilmo_Chiquito. Holla at me, bro.
The fellow Elo.
You can find me at Elo Soul
Man with
463. The man with the jello, yes. I got jello in the fridge.
Is that what you call your tits? Sure. The fridge?
Yeah, jello red, jello blue. You can find me at Elo Soul 463 for all my social media, and Elo Soul YT for my YouTube channel.
Or your local buffet. Putting it out of business.
Putting it.
Golden
Yes,
Crown
all
area.
the Chinese restaurants are like, get out of here,
7 down.
you fat ass.
7,000 more to go.
There's that many.
You're like an old samurai traveling through the land, but instead
It's
of
like-
schools,
it's
you
like
take down
I'm-
buffets.
It's like a Monkey D. Luffy,
I want to see your
and I'm
master.
trying to become the buffet king.
The buffet king. But yeah, so where can people find you, bro?
I just told them.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna get the fuck out of here now because we're tired and I'm a little high.
Oh my god.
So-
Bye guys. We
We're
love
gonna
you.
go now.
Bye now.
Peace.